Hey, I'm Carlton Riffle. I'm here at BCMC 2025. I'm here with the famous Dave Cooper.
Famous. I don't know about famous, but I'm definitely Dave Cooper.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I love what you guys are doing. I ran into John, on the floor yesterday, and we did I was walking around live and did a quick interview. Cool. And you guys have been growing fast.
Yeah, we've been adding a lot of features, adding some team members as well. Sure. So it's exciting to be here at BCMC. We officially launched last year.
Yeah.
And so this is our second year, so it's good to see people again, some familiar faces, have some conversations. So we've been just talking to people, asking, one, what are some of the interesting conversations you're having this year, and what are some of the innovations that you're really excited about?
I think the conversation of how we take Offsite to the next level and really take a productized approach to what we're building and how we're building it is probably the biggest conversations we've been having. There's a lot of builders and manufacturers that are starting to design like kit of parts.
Yeah.
With traditional lumber, cold form steel, or even like this safe harbor over here, right, where they panelized wood with chases and structural entities to it. But I think as the industry is evolving, as AI is evolving, as workforce development is at an all-time low, technology is playing a big role in where we're going to go. Almost similar to like what you guys are doing here, right? Yeah. You're doing it like nobody else has done it. And you're seeing the results of it because your team's growing and people like it. But moving forward, I think, the most exciting thing for me is seeing all the people that are actually trying to do it differently. Yeah. Not thinking the way we've been doing it. I say it all the time. Clearly, it hasn't worked the way we've been building, the way we've been designing, the way we've been producing houses, where we wouldn't have millions of people sleeping on the streets.
Yeah, and trying to find ways to bring the quality up without making the price go astronomical.
100%, right. So how do you get those efficiencies, right? And that's really where I think the technology is going to play a big role. Look at it with AI. Everybody's using it, right? Oh, did I write that email right? You can check it real quick and say, hey, make it a little more concise and better, which is great for a guy like me who hates to write. But I do think the same thing's starting to happen in the industry with the technology, and we're finally looking at data. This industry never looked at data. Every other industry in the world's been using data and metadata from their process, and now we're starting to see people really dive into it to find where the inefficiencies are.
Yeah, and sometimes you have so much data that you don't really know how to make sense of it. Right, and I think one of the most powerful facets of AI that not a lot of people are talking about is actually it can help you take your data, make sure it's structured correctly, and then try to figure out what it means. And then you can make the decision that you need to make for your company.
That is really the first process, is diving in and truly understanding the life cycle of your product. Mm-hmm. What is the life cycle from the consumer to the design through manufacturing? And even to me, I want to take it even further. Like, we need to follow the life cycle all the way through handing the keys in, service, warranty issues, and then you have a full set of data that you can use to really streamline what you're doing and finding your mistakes. Absolutely. Too many people separate the two, right? That's warranty work, that's out of the factory or on the job site now.
So when it comes to some of the interesting trends that you're seeing and some of the innovations that you're looking forward to, are there any specific products or things that you're looking at over the next year that you're excited about?
Well, I think the thing that excites me most is just seeing the newcomers come on and people pushing the envelope. I mean, you got Boxable, right? Yeah. Look what they're doing, whether you like them, hate them, or think they're blowing smoke or any of that stuff. There's people that are thinking differently, that aren't in the norm of what we do, and they're coming from the outside saying, well, this is dumb, why aren't we doing this? And I hate to say it like Safe Harbor over there, like, that's what the industry is really going to need for somebody to, I think, genuinely make wholesale change, where they just come in and they say, why are we doing it this way? Because we're so deep in it. Sometimes we can't see the forest through the trees or whatever the case is. So, but I think it's new product, new technology, more sustainability, right? Resiliency is a big thing, right? Look at California. What are we going to do there? And I think the younger generation really believes more than our generation in the planet and how we save things moving forward. And of course, how do we be more practical of our usage of what we use?
You have a really interesting perspective because you're tapped into this market, but you're also in the building industry at large. You're at IBS. You're looking around, doing connecting with people that are kind of in different parts of the industry.
Right.
Are there any interesting ideas or lessons that you think the component manufacturer industry could learn from the rest of the building industry at large?
I think and I think SBCA would agree with this, and Jess does a great job, is we're so siloed, right? I always say, hey, modular companies and panel companies are all panelizers, and right? Why aren't we together with them? You got the components, a lot of the industry components and manufacturing equipment here, but I think to really drive change, we need a collective voice in the industry, right? We can't be siloed. If you look at stick builders, they have the NAHB, right? Jim Tobin was a speaker here.
Yeah.
The stick builders have one of the top 5 lobbying, they used to be on Capitol Hill. For our industry and offsite construction components, we're all fragmented in separate silos, but we all have the same goal. I'd like to see us all come together and have one singular voice. And I don't mean that in an association change, I mean it as in a community.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me. He was about to leave to the airport, and I said, Dave, I'm going to come down, sit down and talk. So
always, man.